Malawi and boy.
What is going on, good people? Welcome to 5 Rounds. I am One Tally. We have OV2 Nice. And before we start,
what's up? What it do? What it does? What it is? It is what it is. It's a Friday. So what's up? What's happening? What's up?
Come on. RB says, well. If it isn't the 3 late Stooges, well, it's actually 2. So do your maths. Man.
You gotta learn how to do your maths. You know what's up? Go to class. Good.
Actually, I just wanted to ask guys, what do you think about the background, the moving background? If it's too distracting, let us know. We'll take it off. I'm just trying it right now because I thought it looked cool. But if you guys don't like it, I'll take it off. If you are new to the channel, because the 5 Rounds OGs, the Embarrassment of Pandas, they know what's going on. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button if you enjoy what you are seeing. You know what I mean? We ain't brilliant, but
especially if you're from the streets. If you're from the streets, if you do something like that, you're gonna gain street cred. That's street cred.
And make sure you follow us on our socials, man, at the bottom. So Instagram 5 Rounds Podcast, X, that's I need to update that logo. X is now 5_rounds. Facebook 5 Rounds with a Z, 5 Rounds Podcast, and on TikTok 5 Rounds Podcast with a Z. All right, let's get into this, man.
And the new channel coming through as well on WhatsApp, guys, because the new channel that we're gonna throw out on WhatsApp, make sure we're gonna throw it in, guys. Join. And
you want to share the link, or you when you set it up?
Yeah. Put up the link. Put up the link. Okay. Just share the link there, guys. Because we're going to Christmas, we're going to Halloween, we're gonna be running competitions. So people will be winning stuff from our clothes, our mags. We're talking about electronics, even different things. Bluetooth speakers, headphones, and things. Things like that. But we'll be running through competitions through that. And make sure you follow it and share it to as many people as you can. The more people you share to, you also get a chance of winning. When you open it up, there's going to be a competition like that. You know what up? Hello.
Anna says the topic is about...
Anna
says the topic is about stereotypes, and then you show up late.
Yeah, put 2 and 2 together. Anna, what are you trying to say here? Come on. You have already started firing shots. It's too early for shots.
Too early for shots, man. What are you doing?
Too early for them shots. You can't be firing shots like that.
We're making sure that we have a nice background. You see the background, man? We're making sure that it works and all of that. Hold on a minute. My tablet's going crazy here. Right. Yeah, we were making sure that we have a good background. What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, look. This background, the guys, I mean, rated out of 10, I think I'm going to give it an 11. Yeah, look. Anna, by the way, yes, you know yourself. 7 o'clock African time is not 7 o'clock.
All right. Let me get you guys into this topic, man. Jesus, we've deliberated enough. I'm sure there are people that wanna see us talk about this, So I'll read your comments, but just hold on a minute. Hello, the baby hi, RB. And I see you all in the comments, man. The OGs, man. The Embarrassment of Pandas are in the building. Michelle, I know you're watching too. Through Anna, of course. What's up, Michelle? You ain't getting free merch. I thought I'd just call you out. So today we are talking about stereotypes, man. Stereotypes. What are stereotypes, right? So stereotypes are generalized beliefs about characteristics of a group of people. So it's what we believe people are like or people are, So they're things that, that come from somewhere. The question is, where do they come from? Because, for example, if I see Ovi in a do-rag, I think, my gosh, this guy's probably a thug. This guy's probably gonna rob
from the streets, But no, but to be honest, you'd be surprised, because I dress good, I look good, I speak good. People think I'm posh, but I'm actually from the streets.
You know what I
Just
mean?
want to say.
So yeah. So look, some people wonder, where do they come from? How did we have stereotypes? Actually, it's a so from what I've sort of looked up and all of that, it actually comes from it's a psychological effect, right? Your brain naturally tries to get from point A to B in the quickest way possible. Yeah. So you try to think about something in the quickest ways possible. I'll give you an example. So back in the day, in the primitive times, during our ancestors or whatever it is, it was as simple as this: fight or flight, right? So it's either, if you see a lion, you're not going towards the lion because the lion might kill you. So it worked then because it was like, I heard the lion is a carnivore, so I'm not going anywhere near the lion. You know what I mean? Something like that. So your brain teaches you these things, these characteristics of a group of things, to say, hey, this thing does this, you shouldn't be there. Now, how do they form? Like, what contributes to them? You know what I mean? So there are two things: cultural influence, right? And the media. So when we say cultural influence, right, we're talking about how you grew up, how you were raised. Because think about it, right? For people like myself and Ovi, we grew up in Malawi, where we had never really encountered people of other races, maybe Asians, yeah, and all of that. So you start to,
the money makers.
Yes. So cultural influence, and through the media, by socialization, right? So socialization being being part of a group that's accepted in society. So already you're categorizing things. If you see what I'm doing here, you categorize things. Oh, are you normal or not normal? Are you cool or not cool? And then it goes deeper than that. It's like now you start getting ideas of people that you think are not normal. So if, for example, I don't know, me and Ovi come from the same tribe, for example. Yeah, me and Ovi, we are Lomwes, right? So we are known for the stereotype for Lomwes is we're known for talking. Like, we talk a lot and we curse a lot, basically. And these are just based on experience. So somebody's experienced this from one person and projected it onto others, right? So that effect itself it's mad. But anyway, we're gonna dive into it. I hope you sort of I hope you sort of understand where we're coming from, Ovi. So I want to ask you, boss. Yeah, I want to ask you, unless I've missed something of how you think. So stereotypes are formed. You can add, but what is the impact of stereotypes on individuals and communities? So today,
God damn.
if I say Ovi,
God damn.
if I say Ovi looks like a thug,
just because I got a do-rag on and I dress good and I smell good,
and he sounds like he's American.
Yeah, because I'm from the streets. I got street cred.
What impact would that have on your life?
Obviously. Oh, Mr. Drew is here.
What are you doing, bro? Is this a Luther Vandross pose or something, man? What's going on?
I was.
You're supposed to say welcome and not like just start telling me that I look like Luther Vandross.
Bruh, first of all, we're used. Africans, you're never on time. We said 7, bruh. This is like, we're talking about stereotype, as Anna said, and look at the time you show up. God damn it.
Okay, so let me apologize. I had a lot of work to do this week and I was sleeping pretty much. Like, I woke up like literally 5 minutes before 8. I was like, oh shoot, podcast. And then yeah.
You've been doing 12-hour shifts the whole week. A typical African ways. God damn it.
No, I was looking at the screen for like the whole week. So that got me. Yeah. But Luther Vandross, hey.
Mm.
Oh man, this guy.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. So stereotypes.
Hmm.
I would say one thing, Durag, that's a stereotype of a gangster.
See, we both said
This
it.
is listen. It's called swag. First of all, it's called swag. Swag is something we Africans got. All right, I got swag. This is swag. It's called swag. Don't be hitting.
Oh my
Shut
I
up,
God.
mean,
G.
Carry on,
Just,
carry on,
just,
Ovi. Carry on, Ovi. So the
yeah,
question, once again, for
yeah.
you is
Mm.
what impact, or
Okay.
what is the impact of stereotypes on individuals and
Yeah.
mm,
communities, as I said before. So
See, let's be to me, right? The impact, right? It depends. Sometimes the impact can be great. It can work to your advantage, and sometimes the impact works to your disadvantage. You know what I mean?
mm,
Do you
mm,
want me? Do you want me to give? I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example where let's say if it works in your advantage. Uh, for for instance, right? Have you ever have you ever tried to go? Have you ever tried like let's say here we're both in Europe, we're coming from Africa, right?
mm,
And you walk into a job where it's gonna be a hard labor job.
mm,
hmm,
Stereotypically, do you know that when a black guy walks in, right, and they know this is hard labor stuff, you're getting that
mm.
job. They're like, yeah, this man he can work. He's very very strong, and you couldn't even have the strength, but you got the job, right? It works in your advantage. Is that in their mind they're just thinking, no, this guy is a hard worker because
hmm.
he's gonna hustle, you know?
I mean. First of all, if I have to say something right now, let's look at the stereotype. Let's look at why there's such thing as stereotype in the first place. Uh, to me, I think it all stems from implicit bias.
Hmm.
Everyone has it. We all have it. Whether you're from China, whether you're from Europe, whether you're from Africa, wherever a person comes from, we have what's called an implicit bias. When you look at a person that's different culture or different skin, sometimes even different class. Implicit bias can also be in the same culture but a different class.
Hmm.
When you look at a person, you have a perception about what they are or what they can achieve, what they can do, the limit that they can do certain things, and
Yes,
it's all
like
implicit bias. So the implicit
yeah.
bias has created how we think of certain individuals just by looking at them. Like you said in the first, if you go to work, for example, wearing a durag, somebody's going to look at you like, hmm, is this guy capable of doing the job? Right?
Hmm.
Mm.
If you say, for example, you have dreadlocks and you go ask for a job as a banker,
Hold on a
someone
minute. Hold on a
someone will
minute.
look at
This
you.
point for some reason these points look like they're all targeting me. I'm putting on a do rag. I got dreadlocks. What the hell, man? What's
What
up, man?
the hell? Oh my God, the
You know what I mean, bro? For
way.
some reason, I
Ovi,
think that this guy's on my case. You know?
Ovi. Oh man,
You know
oh
what I mean?
man. You see, even when I was speaking, even when I was saying it, I had a feeling that it might look like I'm targeting you because you have all these things, but
Yeah.
it wasn't intentional.
Okay, talk about the hat.
Hmm.
Talk about the hat. Because one time is putting on the
Okay,
hat. Talk about a
if
flat cap.
someone if someone goes to ask for a job what's the best one, as a doctor wearing a cap, for example,
Mm.
how will that go?
Well,
Yeah, but it's
they might
But
look.
I think there was one interesting woman that had a very interesting post. She's Swedish, I think, Scandinavian. She has tattoos all over her body, and her movement basically, or her mission, was trying to tell people to say like, I can be the most amazing doctor on the planet Earth, even though my whole body is inked. I have so much tattoo on my body, but I can still be able to operate a person and save a life, right? So I think I think to me, if I have to be very honest, like stereotypical judgment is the reason why also maybe this world is falling apart. I mean, if I
Why?
look at Ovi right now, and I say like he's a gangster, I'm wrong because Ovi is not a gangster.
Adura,
Bruh,
Is
don't say that.
Adura,
one of
People
the
are watching
kindest
in
people that I know.
people are watching in 4K. I'm gonna lose my street cred, please. You know what I mean? Like I got my corner boys watching this shit on
so
4K.
so
Okay.
what you're saying is, you know, the impact, yeah, because I really want you guys to break it down here, you know. So are you saying that it has a, you know, what would I say? What would you say? It has a social impact when you're talking about a doctor who has tattoos, for example, right? So a doctor, you don't expect a doctor to have tattoos or have tattoos all over their body, because normally they're telling you about your general health and, you know, how you look after yourself.
Right.
And then you have one who's got tattoos, and you sort of wouldn't trust
Right.
them as a doctor. So the social impact there,
Right.
how does that affect
It
that person per se?
I mean, it's what I said, like the implicit bias. It's like if I look at a doctor who's gonna cut me open, right? If I'm sick and the doctor has got tattoos on her body, I'll be like, do I trust her to cut my body? You know what I mean? But if she's in a tattoo shop, doing ink, then I would trust her because she looks the stereotype, right? So
Okay.
it does affect how we are as a society. It does affect how we.
So what you're saying is a tattoo artist without ink, you wouldn't trust them because you haven't seen the work. So
No, I haven't seen the work. I don't think
But
I've
no,
ever met any tattoo artist without ink.
but that's wrong. That's wrong. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because there was this question I remember when I was in primary school. A teacher asked you, so you walk to a street and there's two barber shops, right? One of the barbers has got a clean ass tight cat fed, and the other barber has got rough hair. Which barber do you go to?
I
Which
don't
barber
care.
do you go to, Drew?
I go to the one that cuts hair. I go to the one.
No. But when you look at the two,
normally the one that's free is the dangerous one. The one that's busy.
but no. I mean, in this case, one has got a good haircut, is looking fresh, and the other one is scruffy. His hair is not cut up. Who will you go to?
Right.
Will you go to the one with the good fade or the one that hasn't cut his hair?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not bothered. If they're in that barbershop, I trust they know what they're doing.
Yeah, so the answer to that, what you said is that you have to go.
No.
So what you're saying is,
if you're in a barbershop,
basically, yeah, I ain't going.
Yeah.
He's good.
If it's
He's
Drew,
good.
But
no. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen, but look. Listen to this. The way it is, like these two are next door to each other. So one has got a good cut, and the other one is scarf. So probably the one with the scarf hair gave the other guy a cut. So it means it's good.
That's a very, very good point. It's a psychological impact. So basically, when you look at something, you think, the guy with the good hair must be a good barber, but yet the roles might be reversed. So sometimes, so you
because
assume
it means, he asked the guy that, man, can you cut my hair? Because and the other guy doesn't trust him to cut his hair, you know.
Oh my gosh! And this is the thing. So normally, a stereotype stems from cultural influences and confirmation bias. So if you know that a good barber is one that has good hair, or a good tattoo artist is one that has good tattoos, then you go to the person with good hair to give you a haircut, because you've just confirmed it. You've confirmed it to yourself, but you don't know if that's a fact. And Ovis just said it here. It might be that the other guy was
was the one who cut. Do you know how hard it is to cut your hair and look so clean, and the fade to look perfect?
And that's how a stereotype works.
Even to understand it even better, like how stereotype works. Like sometimes I go to the pub or the club wearing no fashion whatsoever, just simple. And I go out there and I just go out there. Maybe I'm playing music or whatever. And you get people like asking you, are you the DJ? Do you know what I mean? Are you the DJ? It's true though. It's true though. Are you the DJ? Like, are you the guy who's playing music? Until you get up there and you start playing music, they're like, oh, they get it. Afterwards, they get it. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you wear or how you look like.
So, what do
They
you think?
they
What do you think?
expect you.
What do you think they're thinking? Are they thinking this is Derek Chisora here? What's he doing on the decks?
Yeah, they're like,
Most likely. This is not the first time. This is not the first time I've heard this.
Let me read these comments. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, finish. So then I'll read the comments.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like like I said earlier on, stereotypes. This is one of the reasons why the world is falling apart. Because if you want to learn to like look at people without judging them, actually, there's a guy who's doing a very interesting thing on Instagram right now. I think he's Nigerian-ish. Yeah, Nigerian. He lives in the UK. He's got a very funny looking face. Like, he's very scary. So his video opens up like looking like this and is just staring at you. And then he says, listen, it's very important that you do not judge a book by its cover. And then he switches. And then it switches into like Nigerian. It's like, but I can like rough you up and I can. That's a really good example.
That's another stereotypical thing, because a lot of people look at me and they just assume I'm Nigerian. Do you guys get that?
Okay, I think that one might be a racial stereotype. Yes.
You know what I mean? I look at myself. I'm like, nah. I'm African.
What do you think? What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think? Do you think you look like Nigerian?
Okay. I'm gonna hold that. Read them comments, and then we have to open up in those kind of things as well. Like, there's a lot of stereotypical things that we get right now, and I'm like, nah. We gotta put them out there, right? Hey, read the comments there one time. What's happening?
Okay. So Abi says, please don't use the background when you do 5 shots and chill, because I'll be feeling drunk real quick. Well, I think we should use it then.
Exactly. Make them drunk.
Gunjan says, I'm a spiritual person. Every human being got some talent. Okay, that's brilliant. Let's see. What did I? Oh, okay. So Anna was talking about. So Anna was saying, look, this topic's about stereotypes, and then you show up late. What are you trying to say, Anna? What are you trying to say?
She's talking about me. She's talking about me.
Well, no.
She owned me. She owned me.
I want her to say it, Anna.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Say it, Anna. Let's go. Let's see. Meanwhile, Ovi is a church boy. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Is he?
Listen, no. No. People don't understand my street cred. They don't understand where I'm from. You know what I mean? Cool. Cool.
You're gonna lose your street cred, dude. Like, you need to.
Like, people trying to get my street cred out. But my street cred just went levels up. I'm just like from last time my street cred went up. People are afraid of me in town. They think I'm gonna T-bomb them all the time, because they seen that in 4K that I walk around with T-bomb. So they just think I'm gonna pull it on a My street cred is going up levels right now.
They think you're gonna what?
T-bomb them, tiger bomb them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
Hang on a second. So you've been walking around with Tiger Bomb.
Yeah, ever since that time, and people are scared of me.
Ever since that time, Tiger Bomb, and they think that you're gonna Tiger Bomb them.
Yeah.
How? Can you explain how you would? No. What's the process of Tiger bombing someone?
That's a conversation for another day. I don't want to know. I don't want people to know. It'll be a surprise once I Tiger bomb them. So watch out. I'm out here, cuz.
Oh.
Let me catch up with these comments. So obviously there's more chances of hell freezing. So basically, I think Anna's sister said one day one day the ice around your heart will melt. So she's talking about me, and then Abi says there's more chances of hell freezing. Okay.
Right.
Gunjan, are you on the happy pills again? They're asking for you.
Wow.
Watch him play it out like a victim. What do you guys mean? Who's playing it out like a victim now? RB says that's not a stereotype. You do talk a lot. The Lomwe thing. So we were saying, look, Lomwe.
Yeah.
You know the stereotype of Lomwe's talk a lot. Apparently, it's not a
Oh
stereotype.
yeah.
It's a fact.
Right.
Oh, okay.
If
He's such a liar. We're not buying it. I demand a forfeit. So that's you, Drew. That was for you being late. Why are you not coming for 50 cents 50 cents do-rag. Okay. And then Anna says that, and then lie and say he does have a heart. Okay, that's talking about me then. The biggest impact of stereotypes on me is that people assume I don't season my chicken.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't blame them.
I think we need to start using statistics.
I wouldn't blame them.
Yes.
I wouldn't blame them. But I mean, okay. So yeah. So wow. I mean, let's talk about certain things that are stereotypes, certain things that are not stereotype. I can't even believe myself I'm saying that, because I don't like the word stereotype, because it's I think it's a diminishing word. It shouldn't be used at all. You know. How do we say? How can we say it? Africans are late. That's
that's a stereotype.
This is why I wanted to ask Anna to repeat. And also, with what Drew is saying, there is a poll in the chat. Is the impact of stereotypes more positive or more negative? Please vote on the poll if you haven't voted. You know, so we'll see what.
Right.
But Drew says.
I mean, if I have to explain myself as a Malawian, Malawian is a very chilled country. Malawi itself, I mean, is a very chilled country. We're very chilled people. Maybe because there's crazy amounts of consumption of cannabis, but we're very laid back people.
Now you're gonna make them form more stereotypes, but carry on.
No, but we're very laid back people. And when you say someone like, okay, let's meet up at 12, for example, for lunch, expect them to come at 2, because everything, the lunch itself. No, I'm big serious. Even the lunch itself, when you go to the venue to have the lunch, right? When you go to the restaurant to have the lunch, when you order the food at 2, at 12, it's gonna come at 2.
Don't put that on Malawians. It's called African.
I'm just saying though, but it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And being late to something is not a bad thing at all. No. It just means that you take your time.
Okay.
you take your time. You take your precious time.
I thought you had more than that. I really did.
You know,
listen, I do have more than that. More than that. You take your sweet time. And for me, it's like, even to adjust, even in Europe, sometimes it took me a very long time. And sometimes when I move back, when I go back to Malawi, I feel like, right? Relaxed. Everything's so chilled. Everything's laid back. It's like, don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay, right?
So basically, guys,
when you listen to Bob Marley, don't worry about a thing in Europe, and you listen to Bob Marley when you're at the beach in Malawi, it's two different things.
Guys, Drew says it's okay to be late, so it's okay for the podcast to start late as well. According to Drew, guys, that's what he said. So don't attack
according to his statistics.
No, I'm just talking rubbish because I know someone's gonna get at me right now.
Yeah, but okay, guys. Do you know when you said, when one time you said stereotypes, as in the post, saying that do they work to advantage? Me, I think some of them work to the greatness. Because have you noticed, like when, I've got, for example, I've got a lot of white mates, right? And when they invite me for food, the first thing they suggest is chicken, right? It's the stereotype, but it means they're not going to go wrong, because I do want to try something that I've never tried. You know what I mean?
But let me ask you a question. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Obi. Do you not like chicken?
Yeah, I do like chicken. That's for a fact. You know what I mean?
You see, the thing is, it's not just black people who like chicken. Everybody loves chicken. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody loves chicken.
But if everybody loves chicken, if everybody loves chicken, I'm gonna dare you. What's the longest queue that you've ever seen full of black people?
KFC.
God damn it! So it doesn't mean everybody loves chicken.
No, McDonald's. Anyway,
Or they have chicken wings at McDonald's, yeah?
no, they don't. No, they do not.
Yes, they do.
But chicken
Which
strips.
McDonald's do you go to, mate?
got
They have chicken wings.
Are you sure that
They have
McDonald's is spelled correctly, Drew?
They have chicken wings at McDonald's, dude.
No, they do not. Ovi, do they have chicken wings at McDonald's?
What?
No,
What?
bruh,
You don't have chicken. You don't have chicken wings.
You've been going. Listen, you've been going to Zamzam's or something. Where are you going to Zamzam?
McDonald's. I don't know what
They have chicken nuggets. They have chicken wings at McDonald's.
Yes, they have nuggets.
No, they have nuggets, but they don't sell chicken. They don't sell any chicken with bones.
I can't believe we're talking about stereotypes. We're going to argue over chicken wings at McDonald's. Let me move on.
But they don't sell any chicken with bones at McDonald's.
No, they don't.
No, not at McDonald's. Not at McDonald's.
Wow. Oh, listen. Yeah, I made a mistake. It should be Burger King. Now I'm thinking about Burger King because I go to Burger King a lot.
There's no chicken wings at Burger King either.
They have chicken wings at Burger King here. Come on, guys. We live in two different countries.
Drew, are you sure you're in Europe, bro? You're not just
in the I buy chicken wings. I buy chicken wings at Burger King here. Come on, guys.
Look at what RP said to you. Look at what RP said to you.
That'd be real suspect. That'd be real. Let's see.
I say, can you put up what RP said?
That McDonald's you're going to is the Nigerian version. You know,
that's serious.
Mac, and it's Mac.
Okay, guys, I need to read these comments, man. There's a lot of comments. I need to read. Sorry, guys, I'm not ignoring you. These guys just love to talk, so I need to let them finish. So they, oh my gosh, let's see. There's quite a few things. I'm gonna come at this part. Yes, RB and Anna, I saw that you guys called me the Grinch. I don't care. Call me the Black Grinch, whatever you want. Jared says stereotypes, in my experience, sometimes comes as a mass adoption of those basic beliefs are not done. Either you're considered as too ambitious or crazy. Interesting point. Actually, that's a good point. Albert Einstein, isn't it? Ovi, you lost your cred since you made that the Tiger Bomb revelation, so don't sweat it. Every basketball player has a tattoo. Michael Jordan does not have a single tattoo, and neither does Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way. Let's see. FC. Ovi must have not seen that barber shop with girls twerking. Oh yeah. That barber shop is Bricklayers don't know how to measure threads. You need to make him understand measurements. I don't know about that. That sounds like a stereotype to me. You're trying to say a bricklayer is not smart enough to measure threads, or you know. Too Nice TV says, RB, my street cred went up levels. People scared I'm a T-bomb. What that burn?
What?
T-bomb, not bomb. Come on, this guy. Everybody knows it's not even your ghostwriter. Do you know what I mean? We know that. I read that twice, and I was like, what is he saying? What are you trying to say? Do you know what I mean? Drew, they were talking about your DJ story. They said that's because you look like an uncle that came to bust the party.
I'm repeating to you too.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay. The baby high says, my hubby used to go to a certain barber, and one day he vanished, and then seen him begging outside the supermarket. He brought his shopping and took him home. Then every week he used to go to his flat. Okay. He used to go to his flat for a trim just so he knew he had money to eat. Okay. Wow. You know, big up to Too Noisy, man. Big up to Too Noisy's also got stories for days. But now he has to dress like Ovi and he's a gangster. Oh, okay. So the barber's a gangster now. Why do you want me drunk, Montali? That sounds like an ulterior motive. All right, love. All right, calm down.
Wow.
The guy says stereotypes. Jamaican men cheat. I don't know about that.
Are we talking Bill Cosby right now? What? What kind of motive does she mean right now? What are we talking about?
I'm not saying anything live on YouTube because people are getting arrested for things they're saying on YouTube. Do you know what I'm saying? All Nigerians do fraud. Okay, you see, the baby high grew up in the UK, and in the UK, the stereotypes are heavy. Like all Nigerians do fraud. How many tribes are there in Nigeria? Over 200. Do all 200 do fraud? You know, like
Nah.
Okay, if they don't, I've got a friend. Maybe you can give him a bunch of details. If you trust that they don't do it. If you're not stereotypical yourself.
I mean, there's certain traits, like as a group of people, there's a certain traits, like obviously, like Germans can drink a lot of beer. That's not a stereotype. It's just a trait.
Nah,
it's part of
that's bullshit. That's bullshit, man.
You ever been to one of them? You ever been to one of those what you call Oktoberfest?
Right.
They will
come
drink
to Ireland
you under the table anytime, any day.
Wait, you come to Ireland and then like that's another stereotypical thing about Ireland. You know what I mean? Like drink.
Right.
Stereotypes.
Last time I checked, everybody's got a mouth, so they do drink. Everybody drinks. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
Everybody drinks, but can they handle the alcohol? That's the thing.
Yep, because that's gonna change the world. That really is.
You know what I mean? Exactly, cuz.
I mean, it's not even about change. It's not even about changing the world. It's just about like.
Okay. Can we dive into this one? Okay, I don't know if you guys get this. Like, do you get the one that how many times have you been assumed to be Nigerian? Let's be honest. Any of you guys? Yeah.
I mean,
how many times have someone asked you, "Are you from Nigeria?"
Yeah, no, a lot of people think I'm from South Africa, which is partly true.
Okay, so what impact does that have on you guys?
For you?
When somebody assumes you're Nigerian or whatever it is, what impact does that have on you?
For me, it goes. For me,
do you think it gives on other people? So if that one person says, "Are you from this place?" and you don't bother correct them, what impact does it have on you, and what impact does it have on the person that assumes you're Nigerian? Because if they're asking you're Nigerian, there's a reason, right?
Okay, let's be honest. Me, I've seen the impact that it happens. First of all, first thing, people jump into the conclusion that he's a fraudster.
So they don't trust you. So they don't trust you.
They don't trust you. You came here illegally. All those things that Adele was saying. They don't trust you. You came here illegally. You probably sleep in trees and all these things. So now she's confirmed that whatever she believes is true. So then every black person or whoever she sees thinks or looks like a Nigerian is Nigerian. So the impact there is all of society starts moving towards that. So there's actually there was something called I forgot what it is. Try something component. It's basically you think of something. So you see something, right? And you think, I think that person is Nigerian, right? And then you
did you see what RB just said? Yeah.
No, yeah. I think okay. So for example, you meet a Nigerian. So you meet someone who's from Nigeria, right?
Right.
They happen to be a fraudster, yeah. And then in your mind, you're like, okay, this person's black, they're from Africa, Nigerian, fraudster. That's what they've. Yeah, that's the first part. So you've experienced it. The next person you meet, you're like, I think every black person I see is Nigerian, which means they're fraudsters. So now you're thinking that, right? And then if you're telling people, you're also showing how you feel about that. So then that affects everybody, your society, who feel this is normal, this is not normal, this is right, this is wrong. Okay, Nigerians are this. Some people might have not even met a Nigerian, if that makes sense, you know? So that is the impact.
I mean, but also let's look at it this way. Even Trevor Noah did the joke about this as well, about stereotypes. He says some stereotypes are accepted or they sound much nicer or better, or some people are comfortable being, labeled as those stereotypes. For example, Russian, when you hear Russian talk, they're like, you assume it's mafia, and that's a cool thing, right? He will walk in that room and everybody's scared that the Russian is in the room, right? But if you walk in there as a Nigerian, for example, if Ovi walks in the room as a Nigerian, by the way, RB says you could pull off as
You said that she says Ovita can play Yoruba. To be honest,
To be honest, you can pull that off. You can pull that off anytime, and I agree with her.
and
Anyway,
then she comes out and say Ovi to Igbo. Igbo.
Ovi to Igbo.
I agree with that. I agree with her. But I mean, yeah, but
Igbo.
So to me, the negative impact of stereotypes is that some stereotypes actually don't feel comfortable, or they are uncomfortable. Some stereotypes are actually comfortable for those who enjoy them, or those who feel like they have been, put in a powerful position. For example, Russians, right?
Yeah.
For a Nigerian, I think it's very harsh that we should all just assume all Nigerians are like, scam. I have some really beautiful Nigerian friends who have nothing to do with like making fake phone calls to say, hey, we're calling you from Microsoft. We want to fix your computer. I have those Nigerian friends.
Are you with them all the time? Are you with them all the time? No, it's just a question. It's just a question.
I mean, no, I'm not with them all the time, but I know them personally.
All right,
okay.
I mean, I'm not with you, Ovi, all the time to know that you don't use Tiger Balm on the streets, right?
Yeah, no, but I say that. I said it. But anyway, okay, go on. What I say is, okay, we're gonna leave them. I also have one. Can I also put one out?
No.
One more.
I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. We will.
No, it's to do with Asians.
Okay, brilliant. I had two things that I needed to share. Two things I need to share on impact, right? So, because I'm in diaspora, so we're all in diaspora, yeah. Because we're in diaspora, we see things, and for me, where I find stereotypes to be strong are in football. Normally in football, you find that a lot of players get depicted differently. So I picked up two reports from the same newspaper, yeah, but they were reported in two different ways. So two reports, 2 years, same newspaper, right? So I've got this one here, right? So this is Raheem Sterling, right? He left the Euro 2016, right? And the headline says, right, there is a lot of Sterling, 180,000 pound a week England flop shows off blinging house he bought for his mom, complete with jewelry encrusted bathroom hours after flying home from Euro 2016 disgrace. Here is one.
Wow.
Here is one that was another headline 2 years later. Phil Foden, Manchester City starlet Phil Foden buys new home for his mom. Right? So what kind of impact do you think there's an impact for that player, his family, people of his race as well, and also other minorities, because of the depiction of two different people but from the same team.
I remember when this came out, I was also in the forefront to like comment about this on social media because I felt this wasn't nice. It also happened that DMX died at the same time Prince Philip died, if I'm not mistaken.
Who did, sorry?
Was it Prince Philip died at the same time as DMX, I think, if I'm not mistaken?
Or the Queen's husband.
Yeah.
The Queen's husband. What's the man?
Prince
That's Prince Philip. He died at the same time as DMX, and in the article that came out, it was Prince Philip was like the hero kind of headline. The hero died, the king or the prince died. DMX side was more like, due to his overdose, and to me that's not stereotype to say, that is racial profiling.
But where does it stem from? So we're talking about the impact, right? So if you've grown up in a society that says this is normal, this is not normal, black people are depicted this way, or they're found as aggressive or behave a certain way, you will always think based on confirmation bias. So you meet that one black person and then they act the way you expect them to act, right? Yeah. You're gonna go and report that way. That's what people, because that's what they understand. So this is the result of what happened. So this is the impact, and you've just said it there. It's the impact. One person seen as the hero because you call it, what do you call it, recency bias or something like that. You call it this. There's a lot of
Implicit bias.
Yeah, so literally that person is somebody you recognize, and you're like, oh yeah, Prince, hero, what, did something wrong? Come on, he's a good lad. And then
I
the
mean,
other person you don't recognize is a different story. That's the impact, to be fair.
and
You know?
and this implicit bias also it stems from a long time ago, a development of building a profile of the stereotypes, as you put it. If you look at the
Yeah.
TVs that we watch, if you look at the music, if you look at the music we listen to, if you look at the books that we read, even just separating the two colors of black and white, the music that we're accustomed to coming from the African American community was more gangster. I will shoot you, I will kill you, I will rape your women. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
the other side, the music was more clean, of love, of hugging, and everything else. And also, if you look at the movies that were being produced, and that, I mean, it's years and years of building the profile. So when
Yeah.
we land to a stereo profile, it means already people's minds have been uh, indoctrinated to believe that a Nigerian, for example, is scam. That's all they know. So you
Yeah.
don't trust them, right?
Yeah.
And but you can trust the Russian because it's a powerful person. Uh,
Because why? There are a lot of oligarchs there, so you think, oh yeah, almost every Russian is an oligarch. It's like,
yeah, and which again it goes back to the same point I said yesterday I mean not yesterday when I came on the podcast, like to say stereotypes is one of the things that's making the world fall apart. Because when we look at a person, really, what do we see? When I look at Ovi right now, do I see a gangster or do I see? Even though I know he's trying to keep his street cred right now, but to be fair, when I look at Ovi, do I look at a gangster? When I look at Wantali right now, am I looking at LL Cool J? Right?
Oh my God. Oh my
And I
God.
gave you a good example. I gave you a good example. When I walk into the club sometimes, I'm just like dressed very simple, like a t-shirt, a jeans. I'm like Bill Gates. You won't even recognize me.
yeah.
Right?
I understand that. I understand that, Mr. Bill Gates. RB says, look, she was talking about that DMX thing you were talking about, right? She says, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here, right?
Right.
But the British are far more royalists than interested in DMX. It's not a fair comparison. Okay, but that's not an excuse. So
No, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse.
I'll come back to that, RB. Milk Flavor Soda says, fair to say about the UK being more royalist, because if you look at states papers, you would see a lot of praising for DMX, even news anchors quoting him and stuff like that, right? So let me tell you something, guys. There's something called social media these days. News travels real quick.
Right.
So we
Right.
can't use this excuse in 2023. Okay.
No.
I'll give you an example, and this is one time that I was surprised by someone based on my stereotypes of that person, right? I was working for a certain company, a retail company, and this person comes to me and she starts talking about her favorite thing. I'm telling you, she looked like a regular person, normal person, maybe like country music. My stereotypes are coming up. So then she tells me, what, I'm a big fan of DMX. Starts talking about all these DMX songs, and I did not expect it. Do you know what I mean? And this person is British. So this royalist excuse is not good enough, because this is what people hide behind, oh, but we're not used to it. This is how stereotypes be developed. Because you don't know something and you're used to something, you keep assuming that this is left and that's right, or this is bad and that's good. Here's another thing, right? Since you know that the British press, because they have a responsibility, by the way, their news, BBC World Service, it goes all over the world. Yeah, these things influence people. They have a responsibility to do their due diligence. Not based on opinions and all that stuff, right? Yeah, like he said, Wantali, the exception of the rule. I'd like you to explain a bit more, and I'll give you another example. The same royalists you're talking about, right? In
Yeah.
Trafalgar Square, there's a statue of a man called John Chilembwe. Yeah.
Mm,
If anybody
mm.
knows who this guy is, I'm mentioning him in particular because he's Malawian anyway. He is a freedom fighter. Yeah. So he's a freedom fighter, a Malawian freedom fighter. He was a priest. He fought against oppression. So he was one of the first Malawians to fight against oppression. I think he was one of the first few Africans to fight against oppression. He's got a statue in the UK. You know, a British Empire that represented colonialism. You know, he's a part of history even here because they recognized the work he had done. He was on the other side. So this narrative about, oh, they're royalists. No, somebody did their research and said, you know what? That person deserves to have a statue. You know, so I don't think that's the right reason, to be honest. And if that
I think we're living in a generation right now. We live in a time and generation right now where we're changing the narrative, and the narrative has to change. And one of the things that I'm enjoying about myself as well right now is I'm discovering these things and I'm trying to put them out there. If you saw my Instagram a couple days ago, weeks ago, I posted something about how, you know, the original names of places or even people, they were imposed on them. And I was even shocked to find out that, you know, there's no such thing as a Hindu. There's not even a word in India about anything that says Hindu. Hindu is not a word. It's not even a culture. Hindu is not a word.
Language, no?
It's not even in the Indian language. Hindu is not even in the Indian language. It was imposed upon them. Wow. The original is Indus. Right? Wow. Indus. And because the colonialists that came that time couldn't pronounce Indus and it became Hindus. Those are Hindus. And they became Hindu. There is no such thing. There's no such thing. And I think if someone here watching this, please come back again.
You're trying to pull out the accent.
Right. Come back again on this podcast. If someone from India is watching this, come back again and they have to confirm this. There is no such thing in India as a Hindu.
Okay.
See, so if it's stereotypical that they're good businessmen and women.
Probably.
Yeah, it is stereotypical. 100%.
Smarter people. But India's are smart people though.
Okay, again, this is confirmation bias. It's confirmation bias because the ones that you've seen, you're like, oh yeah, they're smart. But you see, the thing is,
they all know mathematics.
There were tests on these things. It's not that they're smart or they know mathematics. You got to understand the culture.
They all work in a call center. Dude, what's up, bro? What's wrong with you?
Okay, I'm gonna move. You got to understand.
Right. But yeah. Changing the narrative. Even Africa itself. Africa is not the original name for Africa.
Yeah. So Arby said, "Nah, you're twisting what I said. I said they were more focused on news and the preparations around it. Okay, so yeah, they prioritized the royal family. I understand, but what Drew is saying is even though it's, you know, even you are right. They prioritized on one thing and then obviously put another report on another. You know, it's the responsibility here, the duty of care around the reporting. That's what we're talking about.
The duty of care around the news coverage. Listen, why didn't they just read like, you know, DMX, one of the hip hop icon, you know, a guy who has made hip hop to be where hip hop is today has passed away. Why didn't they just do that?
Yeah, I hear that.
The same way the football one, you know what I mean? I think like the way you put it up there one time, the football one, I think I actually never seen that article, but I think that was very bad. That's absolutely disgusting. I never knew about that.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
That's happened to multiple footballers, you know. It's very common, very, very common with football.
And to see Foden actually spent more money. He spent 2 million. He only spent 1 point something, isn't it?
No. What did he spend? I don't know how much he spent, but you know, it says how much he earns a week. He didn't, you know, it's weird how they put it basically. So Francis says we can't compare a freedom fighter to a rapper. That's not a good example. And there's a thing called echo chambers. No matter what, if you're in one, no matter what, other things won't matter.
Was Prince Philip a freedom fighter or a colonizer?
Oh boy, you see that again? I don't know. You don't because
I'm just saying, it's a question. It's a question. I'm just
Drew,
throwing it out there. I just
Drew,
throw it out there.
if you rob a bank today and 10 years later you're a pastor, are we going to say Drew was a bank robber? You know?
I would. I swear to God,
Is that
I would.
what we're gonna
I
say?
would. I would.
Considering
I'd be like, nah,
that
don't believe
considering
this
that
guy.
I'm half Nigerian, yeah, you would you would say that.
First thing I'm gonna say,
Yeah, that's what you're trying. So
the first thing I would say is, if he robbed the bank, he's looking for money, and he's become a pastor, he's definitely looking for more money. It's just in a good way.
He found new ways. He found new ways.
Yeah.
Milk Flavor Soda says, like, for example, DMX wouldn't matter to British people as much as Americans in general. Like, for example, if I talk to you about Agatha Christie, you wouldn't care as much. I get that, but look, my friend, Milk Flavor Soda, I'm not in the media, so it wasn't at that time. It wasn't my responsibility. If I was reporting about Agatha Christie, I'd go and find out who this person is, you know, and put a more appropriate headline for that person, you know, instead of just going, this guy was a crack addict. Was he a crack addict all his life? No, this guy was an inspirational rapper. The same way, you know, Drew is saying, and quote unquote, he said Prince Philip was a colonizer, right? But you know, he died a king, he died a prince and an honorable person. This is what we're trying to say here.
In the headlines, they didn't say the colonizer has passed. No, they didn't say that.
They said this honorable person of honorable duty has done this, but of course it's because we're in that country that honors him, which is correct with what Milk Flavor Soda said, you know. But I think, look, you gotta get your facts right. I'm not saying you guys have to get your facts right, but I'm saying if you're reporting on this, you gotta do it right, or don't report on it at all.
Right. Journalism is a very responsible career. You have to be responsible for what you're putting out there. Otherwise, don't do it.
Well, you know, it's easy to tell them, but not
nobody can knows.
Yeah. So I've got one more video I wanted to show you. So basically, when Hazel was on this show, she said something that circles around stereotypes as well. And I thought I'd bring this to you, so you sort of take it in. You see, you know, take what you think from it, you know. So I just play it now, and then
I found that a lot of our narratives as women weren't celebrated enough. And when I discovered that was when when we won the Afrima. Came back to Malawi, and literally there was nothing. Like the most I got was like a tweet from like the Malawian like official Twitter or whatever, but that was basically it. And at that time, in 2018, when we won the Afrima, there were only 3 Southern African artists that won. It was me, Nasty C, and Shekinah. Literally just us. And
that's a big list.
Exactly. And imagine the whole of Southern Africa, and there were a lot of people that got nominated, and it was just the 3 of us. They both went home to a huge welcoming.
Yeah.
You know, I came to Malawi, and it was just
And the funny thing is, when the Malawi football team scores a goal in any tournament, well done, Malawi! We scored a goal. Heroes welcome.
Even when they come back as they even lost, like they're still celebrated.
Celebrated, indeed.
Come on.
Exactly. So the only thing that boils down to is the fact that I'm a woman. So I won it as, you know, the first artist from Malawi to win an Afrima, and then on top of that, a female artist. You know, and even as when Esmus won it after me, he still got a lot more praise for it.
Yeah.
Like, considering the fact that we both have the same award.
Okay.
So there you go.
It is Hazel's birthday as well. So happy birthday to you, Hazel, if you're watching.
Oh, Shorty, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. Somebody like it's your birthday. Like it's your birthday. Oh, Shorty.
Yeah, so in her own country, you
Who
know,
sang that? Who sang that? Must be Ovi. Ovi, you sang that, did you?
in her own country, you know, she wasn't recognized for, you know, pivotal success, you know, something that, you know, she waved the flag in another country. Not that they're supposed to do it, but then if you're going to do it for one person, then do it for the other. This is what she was just trying to say. She wasn't saying, you know, roll the red carpet out for, but she sort of felt if you're doing it for this person, do it for the other. So the impact on her there is like, okay, so no matter how hard you work, you're not going to recognize me. So think about how other females look at that, you know. So other females will be like, so why should I bother? You know, why should I even bother being patriotic? And then people get mad when you leave the country, you leave your country, go, I'm not Malayan, you know, like, you're not patriotic. What is wrong with you? You know what I mean?
Right.
Have an impact, you know. They really have an impact on people. So,
I mean, I must say one thing as well. Like, I'm not saying bad about Malawi. Malawi is very beautiful. We are from there. We love our country. It's a beautiful country. But there's a certain aspect of not appreciating the talent that we have at that particular time. I mean, let's be honest. How many people are talking about Tay Green being on the list of being nominated on the biggest award in the world? Nobody's talking about that. Let's take a moment and think about that.
Is it nominated? That's what I was going to ask.
He's on the list. He hasn't been nominated, but he's on the list.
So he's been put forward in the academy, right?
Right.
By the way, if you haven't checked out our Grammy episode, so we did 2 episodes actually. Malawians chasing the Grammy, we did it. So part 1 and part 2. If you want to know what the requirements are to get on this Grammy list, so. Yeah, so I mean, congratulations to Dagrin. He's in that group that, you know, he's being considered for a Grammy.
It's a big thing, and we should be proud of that. And like what Hazel said here, like it's the same thing. And also, like I think I felt Hazel what she said there because I watched that podcast when it happened. I think also there is a thing about how can I put it? The difference between being male and female in Malawi is this big. And how culture has sort of, in some senses, we haven't progressed to appreciate that a woman can do the job of a man. A woman can not only be in the kitchen. In some levels, we haven't progressed. So what she was saying there is it's just a point to say like look at me, I'm a woman, and I did the success as the man did, but I didn't get as much praise though. You know what I mean? And do you remember also how the Malawian football team was praised a lot more than the women football team? And who is doing the best right now?
Okay, but now I think we also need to spin this as a positive, because now the Malawian women's team, they were welcomed as heroes. They were like all over social media. You didn't miss it. And congratulations.
And people reached the point that like they should just close down the male football team.
So I think we're starting to learn and appreciate, you know, the females.
Right.
And, you know, because I know Hazel said that before, but, you know, you can see that on another end, at least people are starting to recognize, you know, these achievements, if you know what I mean.
The real is recognizing the real.
And also, Milk Flavor Soda asked how big, because you just said this.
How big?
And nobody saw. Well, nobody saw what you were talking about.
How big were you talking about?
How big? How big? Oh wow! I wasn't talking about the size.
He's lost. Okay. We'll carry on.
Man.
Right.
Oh,
I am well aware we're over an hour, guys. So we're gonna finish this topic up, right? We've spoken a little bit about how, you know, the media plays a role in perpetuating or breaking stereotypes. No, perpetuating we've spoken about, but breaking them, you know, how is, you know, do you reckon the media, right, is actually out there breaking these stereotypes, fact checking people, or do they contribute to it? You know, because it's very difficult for me to think the media changing stereotypes.
The media is promoting stereotypes. The media is one of the tools that is used to promote stereotypes. The media is the biggest tool that's been out there to promote stereotypes. It's the images you see, it's the music you listen to that puts everyone into perspective of and geographically place the person and their behavior. Music, video, you name it, magazines, advertising, it places people and the behavior on the geography, right? So media, to me, there are some media trying to, break the stereotypes, but most mainstream media, it's all a hoax. It's there for a particular purpose to stereotype people.
I hear that. Man, honestly, it's difficult for, like Drew said, it's difficult to pinpoint to say, hey, the media is actually trying to break stereotypes. I think it's more social media than anything, or social studies and things like that. The next question I wanted to ask is, how can we change this? How can we change or challenge stereotypes? As you can see here, we were challenging them. So one of the examples is here. If somebody's talking about us looking like Nigerians or being Nigerians, we can already challenge that and say, actually, mate, there are like 50, 55 countries in Africa. So you might educate yourself, and we all look different and all of that,
Actually, one time I was going to say you look like Ghanaian.
I don't.
What?
I don't.
He looks Ghanaian.
I don't look good.
No.
He looks Ghanaian, man. Dude, you look Ghanaian.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I think it looks Somalian. He looks Somalian, though.
Okay, you're
No.
And I challenge that. I am actually of Southern African origin, so I'm not even Malawian.
You look like twins with that guy who did that song Azonto. Azonto. You look like that dude, man. Like that.
Fuse OTG.
Fuse OTG.
Bro, if you go to Ghana, they will accept you.
I'm sure. I mean, Ghanaians are very nice.
They are nice people.
Oh man, honestly. Yeah. So how do we challenge them? Because can education, for example, play a role in it? Because if you look at how these things are developed, right? First, you experience something. So you're in a bubble, your own bubble, your society bubble, Then you experience something new from somebody that, you are not exactly familiar to. So let's say they're Nigerian for here. Maybe let's use another person, they're Malawian, yeah? Because when everybody meets a Malawian, they're like, oh, nice people, very polite. This is true. Ask Wode Yama, Wode Maya, that's his name. So people will make assumptions based on experience and culture. So what the cultures told them and the experience. They'll develop either negative or positive feelings based on what they felt towards that group, right? And then their thoughts and feelings will influence the behavior, all right? So then how do we challenge and change these things? We look at how we pick these things up in the first place. Is there enough education for people? Are we integrating enough? Because think about it, right? Right now, everyone's in their little huddles or whatever it is, right? Sitting in your room, right? On your own or whatever it is, or with your family. Let's say, for example, with your family, okay? Go to work, you do your job. So if, say, you're not a really interactive person, or you just interact purely for work, you're just going to have work conversations, right? So you're not really learning about, people's characteristics. You're just going with what you know, So, should we be having conversations around people's characters, people's, people's cultures and things like that, like, for example, how we have Black History Month, how we have all these other traditions, how we have Pride Month, how we have, mental health awareness as well. So all these things that we have, should we have more of that for people to learn stereotypes, or not to challenge and change stereotypes?
I think in my thinking, like, my idea of like how to change, this is not an overnight thing. It's not, the stereotyping is not going to change overnight, but I think people should learn to travel. The reason why.
What if you can't afford it?
If you can't afford it, then you should pick up a book and read.
Mm.
That because you can travel in your mind without actually physically traveling. So by picking up a book and reading about certain tribes and certain people and certain cultures, you educate yourself and you become accustomed to that. And nowadays, thankfully enough, if you go into bigger cities, us who live in bigger cities, London, for example, Oslo, for example, wherever you are, and you can be in New York, for example, there are different cultures. These places are multicultural. You could go to an Indian place and eat Indian food and have an experience and get to know the people that are making you that food. It's just simple as that. If you can't afford it, pick up a book and read. These days the world is waking up to this new sort of wave of ending indoctrination. Removing ourselves from that indoctrination that's been there for years and years and years. How many people knew that the Africa map that's been displayed in all the world maps was wrong? How many people knew that?
Not many.
The size of Africa in all the maps, the continent map that you see was portrayed this small, when initially it's the biggest of them all, right?
And how does that contribute to stereotypes?
Okay, so listen, if you are viewed as smaller in the perspective of someone who already sees you as a stereotype that's not capable, that's a contribution, don't you think? It's the image, it's the imagery. Again, it's the stereotyping, profiling. It's a long process. It starts with yeah. Then you might think this sounds very small, but it's actually a very effective psychological anomaly that puts someone into perspective to say, yeah, if in the map there were this for so many years, what perception does that person have over you?
Okay.
Initially, Africa is this huge, but it was portrayed this small in the map.
Chat, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with what Mr. Drew is saying.
I mean,
because little Britain took over most
take
of
it or
the
leave
world.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Most of the world, and it's still Little Britain, So I don't know. I don't know.
Someone says I can co-sign to this.
So what are you co-signing to? What is it? We should start our B month too. Okay, rare bullshit or what? What is it? I can co-sign. Okay, so 86K for life. What's this about? What's that about?
I have no idea.
Neither do I, Drew. I've been yawning the whole time. Neither do I. I've been yawning the whole time. Drew's putting me to sleep. You see what I mean, Drew? All right.
Good night, Dad. Good night, Dad.
I also wanted to recognize, things that are happening at a global level, maybe at a social media level. I'll start with, have you seen these Instagrammers who, like they'll take a meme and say, oh, what people think Africa looks like or how we live in Africa. And there was a guy who was sitting there talking to tigers and lions going, hey, you do this, hey, you do that. And then they go to their trees like, yeah, this is my tree, this is my house, and this is what, but, in a sarcastic way, say like, look, I'm, like to sort of jokingly say, this is not the way life is,
Right.
People in social media globally, we've got, of course, Wode Yama, who, he went to Brazil, I'll just give you, he went to Brazil. I was watching a video. He went to Brazil and he spoke to, so he was saying, he went to this place in Brazil that is it's like, it reminds you of Africa. It's like the most African place in Brazil, right? And he spoke to this particular person. I said, have you ever been to Africa? The person says, no. And I says, okay, would you like to go to Africa? And I said, oh, yeah, as long as it's not violent. That's the first thing she said. Because based on what she's been told or what she knows, as long as it's not violent. So then he asked her, why would you think Africa's violent? Africa's not violent. People are nice and all that. She said, oh, when I went to Paraguay, which is not in Africa, oh, it was very violent there. And then also here in Brazil, it's very violent, because most of the violence comes from the black community. So she sort of assumed that all black people are violent, which is very, very, a very dangerous thing to assume. And for her, she can't go to Africa because she feels it's violent, you know. So what Wode Yama is doing is showing people. So, like you said, to travel, you have to learn to travel, right? He's
Right.
showing you don't have to travel. You just have to go and see what he's doing and see what he's experiencing, the conversations he's having. You want to see what Africa looks like? Go and see what Wode Yama is doing. So people like that are helping break stereotypes, you know. And there's so many things that we can do here. For example, sharing our experiences being in diaspora. So we are African, of course, but we're here, you know, in Europe, thriving, surviving. You know what I mean? Because some stereotypes will tell you that you can't survive here. It's too cold. You know, you can't survive here. You're too slow. You can't have a top job. You're African, you know. But
you're coming to work late. You can't survive, yeah.
You're studying podcast late. You can't make it. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? So what we're trying to say here is, guys, everybody has a responsibility, right? Everybody. If you spot a stereotype, you know you can debunk it. You know, if you know that you've got the facts and you can put them out there, do it. Because Wode Yama was a student in China. You know, he saw how Africans were being treated or portrayed over there, and he said, you know what, I'm going to start showing you what Africa is, how I see it. You know, and I think that's the best way to do it, or one of them. So, and we can sit here and talk about this. We can do these videos. So I hope you guys have taken something away from this whole discussion. You know what I mean? Wow. So RB says, yes, Drew, you have responsibility to be on time. Oh man, can you give us the Chichewa word of the week, or should I give it?
Yeah, it's your turn now. It's your turn now. Holla, holla, holla. If I come up with something very quickly, I will do it now. That's it.
All right. I'm gonna give you one that probably stems from stereotypes anyway. You know, Sanje, which means jealousy.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, wait.
That's a good one.
RB says she wanted to do it. Okay, RB, you carry on. Give us the Chichewa word of the week then. Let's see what RB is gonna do.
I think I know what she's gonna give.
What's she gonna give? Come on, RB. We're waiting on you. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys for watching this as well. The poll.
Nice one.
Dale Wanga. So Dale Wanga means my darling. So RB has given us the Chichewa word of the week. It's Dale Wanga, which is my darling, or darling Wanga by darling, basically. So we put a poll in the chat and said that, you know, is the impact of stereotypes more positive or negative? And 60% of you said they are mostly negative. So yeah, you know, so we really need to tackle this, and we need to stop these stereotypes, because there are things called stereotype threats where, you know, you might not know that you are confirming a stereotype, but you're too busy worrying that you don't want to confirm that to people. Do you know what I mean? And there's so many things, you know, like you said, not coming on time and all these things, you know, where you show up an hour early because you want to show people you can show up an hour early, you know. So, you know, that's stereotype threat as well. So yeah, these are things that, you know, that affect people and how they think. So guys, thank you very much for coming on. This has been fun, guys. I have a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey, like I said, please like the video, because last week the likes were disappointing. I'm not gonna lie, they were really disappointed. So come on, guys, like the video, share it to your friends, rewatch it, and yeah, we'll be back next week. I've been Drew. Ovi had to go food shopping, so he's gone. One tally over here. We out of here, man. Take it easy.